Grayson was a happy, joyful boy. He'd light up a room. Anytime you saw Grayson, always a smile. Grayson was a nonverbal autistic. Unfortunately, Grayson passed away from a seizure that he was never able to regain consciousness. So when we realized that Grayson would never regain consciousness and we were about to lose him, we thought, what could we do? What could we do to make a difference? And we quickly contacted a friend that's associated with the MIND Institute, and he had us quickly connected with several of the scientists, and I believe by noon the next day, going through the process of donation, and it really brought us to a point where we knew that even though in our tragedy, Grayson lives on, and his ability to be a pioneer perhaps in looking at maybe not a cure, but maybe we can find that needle in the haystack and somebody can tell us with our contribution we're making a difference.
Every brain that we receive allows us to do much more research on autism. Every brain is precious. This is a donation that will make a real difference in our understanding of the causes of autism.
Without the donation that Grayson's family gave, this research would not be possible. It is a rare and precious gift. It is a difficult decision to make, but it's so important for progress to be made.
Understanding the causes of autism will likely take several paths. A critically important one is probing the brains of individuals who had autism during life. Science now has incredibly powerful techniques to understand the pathology of the brain and to look into the genetics that might cause abnormal function. Yet this research is being stalled by the lack of appropriate brain material.
We know so little about how the brain is developing in a child with autism. We need to know what is happening at the cellular level, at the molecular level, what role genes are playing in how the brain is developing when it deviates from that of a typical child. This information is necessary for us to understand what is causing the disorder and how we can treat it. The goal of the BEARS program is to provide brain tissue to researchers not only here at the UC Davis MIND Institute, but to also share that tissue with scientists around the world. This program will allow research to be done that otherwise would not be possible.
The lack of autism brain tissue is a crisis in the field for research. And in terms of defining the neuropathology and the molecular events that occur in autism brain, that is actually true. We're at a bottleneck. We can't do certain kinds of research because we literally don't have the material to do that with. In fields like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, where there are thousands of brains available, or even schizophrenia, where hundreds and hundreds have been looked at, this has allowed for great advances in the molecular understanding of these disorders. And in autism, we're at a crisis because we can't actually do that work because of limitations of the tissue. It's not a money issue, it's not a personnel or know-how, it's literally we need to have the postmortem material to work with.
We've watched our son struggle every single minute of every single day. And it's our belief that the BEARS program will help us achieve the ultimate goal, which is a cure for autism. In addition to that, treatments for autism, but not only autism, other neurodevelopmental disorders, so that children no longer have to struggle throughout their entire lives.
So why did we make the decision to donate? It was simply said, why not? We knew that this could make a difference down the road to the research effort. And looking now, it's been 8 months, almost 9 months. We want to stay in tune in the world of autism. It was so much part of our lives, and being able to stay in touch and being able to contribute is just almost our duty as a parent.
I think that parents of kids with autism, I mean, you see the struggle that your kid goes through every day, and to know that you can contribute to a future that could possibly be without those struggles for other kids, I think is, it's a responsibility that I think most parents who have a kid with autism believe that they have to uphold.
If other parents ever were in this situation, should they call the MIND Institute? I say yes, please do. It's something that all of us can work together at getting one step closer to finding maybe just one more piece of information to get the clue.
It's heartbreaking when you talk with another parent and they say, oh, I know you have a child with autism. My daughter was just diagnosed with autism, or I have a nephew who was just diagnosed with autism, because the first thing you want to do is wrap your arms around them and say, I am so sorry. One day we'll be able to say, you know what, there's a treatment for that. And it's because of the BEARS program. We'll get there with help from the BEARS program.
We owe it to them to do everything we can to understand the disorder that their child suffered from. Every donation will make a drastic difference in our understanding of the causes of autism in order to develop biological treatments for children and adults living with the disorder, and ultimately to find cures.